y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kia Simone, and we're about to catch up on Married to Medicine. Now, this might not be the typical review. We ain't going blow by blow. We ain't going scene by scene. It's too damn much. Yes, I got notes because it's a lot. So I might just be telling y'all, just listen, I watched this episode. This is what stood out to me. This is what I thought. So just bear with me, okay? Thank you very much. Let's get into it. Before we do, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you've not already. Thank you. Go ahead. I'll give you a minute. Thank you. So where I left off last was like the end of episode 7, Lord God help us, which was essentially at the end of Toya's wine trip. So episode 8 kicks off. Everybody is back in Atlanta, and they are redirecting the focus off of the marriages that we know got their own issues and on to the new marriages. So now they're getting into Alicia, who is Heavenly's friend, the new addition to the show. They getting all into the inner workings of her marriage. And apparently she has a quite traditional patriarchal marriage where she is married to a Nigerian man who run his damn house. So they're comparing and contrasting all their traps of unhappiness that they call marriages. Of course, they don't understand what you mean. You got a man who be around there trying to tell you what to do and you submit to him. Alicia's trying to tell him, hey, look, this worked for my house. I grew up with a single mother. I always dreamed of having a husband and a family and somebody who could run this. So yes, I let him run this. Don't think nobody running me. No way, I don't want to run. Well, since they couldn't convince her that she got a bad marriage, they get on to Phaedra and stuff. You ain't lonely over there? You don't want to get married again, Phaedra? So y'all wouldn't trick me with that bullshit. Phaedra said, I done been there, done that, and I done got remarried. I'm married to the money. Now y'all go try again. Phaedra said, marriage is a dangerous institution for somebody that got some assets. Very dangerous, which is why it should be ordained by God and not loneliness, attraction, or societal standards and expectations. People be getting married trying to keep up with the Joneses, don't know the Joneses headed to bankruptcy and divorce court. So then we see Sweet Tea going to see a Black female OBGYN who specializes in reproductive health issues to help her with getting some answers about her issues, especially since she's been dismissed by previous doctors, which we know is quite a common experience. She said while she does know that she has some challenges ahead of her, she wants to have a baby one way or another, even if by surrogate. So then at some point in episode 8, we see that the ladies get together and they discuss that they have this common agreement amongst themselves that the recent changes to the group dynamic, which were adding Alicia, Sweet Tea, and Phaedra and removing Quad, were the best move for the group. The unspoken part is because we don't like Quad. So then we see Toya and Eugene at the house. She's complaining about Eugene's challenges in the intimacy department. What's new? They're bonding over needing to rekindle the fire in their relationship as he's helping her take her tracks out. Then we got to the moment that kind of stood out the most to me in this episode, and that was seeing Heavenly and her daughter, Alora. Alora is getting ready to go to college, and you know, she's been raising her mama all these years. And she said, now, before I go off to school, I want one thing to happen. I want you and your sister to repair y'all's relationship because you ain't gonna have me no more and you gonna need somebody. So Heavenly explains that there is a rift between she and her sister that maps back to their childhood. She admits that their mother pit them against each other, that they were raised to not get along, and then they were left to clean up the damage and dysfunction because apparently it was Heavenly's mother's dying wish that the sisters would repair their relationship. But this is where it started to provoke a lot of thought for me, because while that sounds noble and loving and maternal, it's almost manipulative. And I hate to say that because it is someone's deceased mom. It is hard enough to deal with losing somebody, losing your mother especially, and whatever mama trauma you might already have. But to pit these children against each other, to watch them grow into full-fledged adults, carrying this dysfunction and this damaged relationship, and then on your deathbed to say, I want y'all to clean up the mess that I made for y'all and leave them with that, what do you do with that? And it creates so many issues. It's more than just these siblings that don't get along. You have one child whose life you stagnated. So you have stunted their development and their growth and their progression in life. And then you have another child who you have helped to become everything that they wanted to be. You encouraged them to be, you told them they could be, and told them that they were better than this child. So now, on top of the fact that there's a rift and there's this damage and dysfunction, you're going to have issues even in the successful child, where they're going to feel some sort of remorse or guilt for being the success, or the knowledge of resentment for my success. You damage both children in the process. Heavenly took her daughter's advice. She said, you know what? I am going to reach out to my sister because it was my mother's dying wish, but the bitch got a problem with me. Now, see, my thing is, at this point, when you continue to call your sister the bitch and that bitch, knowing that your mother pit y'all against each other, if you know that she has a problem because my mother used to tear her down and tell her she'll never be anything, while she told me I could be anything I wanted to be and I would be a doctor, and I became that. If you know that, then why would you continue to perpetuate that? Because at this point now, you are the person carrying the generational curse forward. But you know what my theory is in terms of why Heavenly continues to carry the whole that bitch and she got a problem with me, is because for you to accept that, you know what? My mom did do this. My mom did pit us against each other. My mom didn't afford to my sister all the same opportunities that were afforded to me. My mom didn't encourage her the way she encouraged me. As a matter of fact, she tore her down and told her she would never be anything. If you know all of that, to truly accept all of that means that you have to also accept that you may have a skewed and distorted image of your sister in your own mind. And it may not be that I'm so much better and I'm so much more ambitious and I have more goals and dreams in life and she didn't want anything out of life. It may not be that I'm so much better than her. It may be that she was not afforded the same opportunities. And truth be told, if we had been given all of the same support, encouragement, and opportunities, she might be a lot farther along than she is. And that scares you, because for you to accept that and your skewed, distorted image of her is going to make you have to accept that you may have an aggrandized view of yourself. It's not so much that you're bigger and better. It's that her path was blocked. Her path was blocked by the same mother that made a path available to you. And those are the things that I think Heavenly has to work through in order for Heavenly to get to a place within herself where she can approach reconciling the relationship with her sister from a healthy place. Now that's that on that. So we go back to Sweet Tea and her story of marriage and medicine. We see that she's back seeing the specialist, and the specialist is telling her that she suspects that Sweet Tea may be dealing with endometriosis, fibroids, and cysts, and that having those conditions can carry up to a 50% infertility rate, which of course is shocking, scary, and devastating to Sweet Tea. And that episode ended with her calling Dr. G to share the news that she was given by her doctor. And she's, of course, telling him how scared she is. And he was fully supportive. And he told her that they are going to remain prayerful and positive. So that takes us on into episode 9, where episode 9 kicks off with Toya still complaining about Eugene. My God. Toya complained about Eugene like a full-time job. Lord. Toya is complaining that Eugene isn't whining and dining her anymore. Eugene wants to do dates in the house, and she wants romance and rich dates. I know Eugene tired. He got to work all the hours, pay all the bills, let Toya spend all the money, and you still ain't happy. Toya said no, she ain't. She said she has resorted to buying herself flowers on his credit card. That he used to be this super romantic guy. He used to plan the most thoughtful dates. But all that has changed. Now here's my thing. Not that Eugene may not be slipping or could do better in the romance department, but has Toya maybe not changed a lot since they got married? Like, the way their story comes off to me is Eugene met Toya as a working woman. She said she was a waitress, and I think she was a teacher or a substitute teacher or something. And, he wanted to give her this life. He wanted to marry her and take care of her, but Toya is insatiable. So I think that Eugene wants to provide her this particular life where you have no worries and I'll pay all the bills and you can go shop. But it's like nothing is ever enough. You can buy her all the designer and build all the homes, but she's never satisfied. And I don't think she considers the idea that maybe he's burnt out. Maybe the budget is burnt out. Maybe we can't afford all the romance dates. And Toya doesn't give an energy of reciprocity. She gives an energy of, you should feel so very lucky. to be married to me. You should be catering to my every need. You should be jumping at my beck and call. And me being here should be all the reward you need. Well, Eugene ain't know he be fucking up. Eugene thought he was doing good to be doing wine tastings in the house and helping her take her weave down. Toya said, yeah, that used to be nice, but now that she got a job, now that she's in the wine business, that's not good enough anymore, girl. But in true Eugene fashion, what Toya wants, Toya gets, and he's gonna take her outside. So then we move on to Heavenly and Damon house. They outside sitting on the patio like somebody Nana and Paw carrying on about they baby leaving and they gonna have an empty nest. And I sure hope y'all like each other because it's about to get real interesting. Heavenly let Damon know that Alora left her with some homework before she goes off to school that she's supposed to be reconciling with her sister, which she is open to, but she don't know how well that's gonna go. So she put Damon on notice that you getting ready to have to be my new shopping buddy. So go ahead, clear your schedule and act like you like me. So then we move on to catch up with two of the new ladies. We see Phaedra and Alicia get together. They're getting together after the Napa Valley trip to catch up. And Phaedra takes this opportunity to share with Alicia that she felt a weight lift off of her when Quad left the cast. You know, she was just so hurt to hear that Quad had trash talked her. You know, all the stuff she said about Phaedra and Dr. G dating. Ma'am, Phaedra is foolish and knows no loyalty. First of all, that girl didn't trash talk you. I believe she told the truth. Now, I don't know what all the details were, but the fact is, Phaedra herself said that she and Dr. G dated back in the day. She said that herself. Why this lady would tell that story on TV and come back on TV and lie is beyond me. But you told us that story. So it's not her trash talking to tell a backstory. Just say you were looking for a reason to fall out with her. You were looking for a reason to not like her and distance yourself from her. Just say what it is. Now, we also in this scene find out that Phaedra is a Reiki practitioner. She done going from head doctor to Juris doctor to Reiki doctor. Just okay, ma'am. So we cut back to Sweet Tea and Dr. G, and they are catching up over dinner about her diagnosis. Sweet Tea lets Dr. G know that, you know, she doesn't know what to expect, and her greatest concern is giving him a baby. Now, Dr. G is very supportive, but he does admit in the confessional that he is unhappy and frustrated about them having to delay having a baby, especially given his age. Well, Sweet Tea said that's where the bullshit stopped. Now, I ain't gonna be carrying this cross by myself. She said, I think, you know, I'm going to the doctor and I'm working on my issues. I think you need to do one of them tests to check your sperm count. Dr. G said, no, wait a minute, been there, done that. See, I already did an at-home test and I'm putting up Jordan numbers. They say you need 20 millions and I got my 20 million. But he said he is open to seeing a professional just to be sure. So we cut back to Eugene and Toya. Eugene finally told her, put on your red dress and your high heels. I'm gonna take you outside. So they go outside. He has planned this date where he has a private chef that is going to be preparing them dinner. But the date was really about Eugene because y'all know Eugene liked to cook. So Toya was just sitting there watching Eugene and the chef bond over cooking this damn food. Eugene said, don't harass me now. You wanted to be outside, you outside. Now let me do what I want to do. Toya said, won't nobody get more attention in this room than her. She starts telling stories and saying all kind of inappropriate do you want the chef's attention? Because Eugene know all this. She's saying how this date brings back so many memories for them. Because, you know, when she and Eugene started dating, she was working at Ruth's Chris. She was a waitress. And Eugene and his doctor friends came in one night and she was so embarrassed. And he thought she was so cute. And he was telling all his friends, this is my girlfriend, y'all see her. And she pissed off that, you know, she wasn't in her red dress and her high heels. She out there waiting tables and you trying to show me off to people. And then Toya goes on to say some wild about, yeah, I taste as good as this food. Girl, ma'am, hell, next time just ask the man, you want a piece of my pie? Because I'm just damn. Eugene don't get no damn respect. Because why would you say that in front of your husband and this other man? Like, girl, now if a woman were there and Eugene says some shit like, I'm as good as a cake pop, you might want to taste me, it would be all out war. Now, episode 9 ended with Phaedra and her Reiki practices. Girl, child, man. She's hosting a retreat for the ladies. She's going to help them heal some stuff and clear some energy or something, child. All I know is this is some mood shit to tie Phaedra into this show. I guess this is supposed to be how she's married to medicine because we ain't never seen no more of that damn man. We saw a random blurred out picture of that was supposed to be her doctor boyfriend that got her on this show. So episode 10 picks up with Simone and Toya going out to lunch. Toya is still complaining about Eugene. The man done took her out. He done let her flirt with other men in his face, and she's still complaining. I really think complaining about Eugene is Toya's personality at this point. Simone told her, look, if you feel like that, if the man ain't taking you out like you want to be taken out and all that stuff, take control. That's your husband. You got access to the money. You know his schedule. You plan some dates. Toya said, I don't want to do that. I don't want that. I want him to wine and dine me like he did when we first met. Simone finally broke down and told her, hey, look, your man done been telling Cecil about you. Eugene confided in Cecil that the reason he don't do nothing for you no more is you don't appreciate nothing. There is no satisfying you. He tries stuff, he plans stuff, and he ends up getting beat up and berated, and he don't want to do that no more. Simone gave Toya an example of a birthday trip that Eugene had planned for her. Toya immediately goes off about how humble the trip was. Simone said, see, this your damn problem. You know what Toya's problem is? Toya wants to be a rapper's girlfriend and she wants to live out all her Instagram dreams. The problem is you married Dr. Eugene, not Gucci Mane. Let the Keisha Kaur dreams go. Simone is trying to talk some sense into Toya, but ain't no room for sense when Toya's ego is in the room. And you know what I think part of the problem is that Toya's whole identity has become being wined and dined and buying designer. I feel like deep down inside, Toya doesn't really know who she is or what fulfills her. And so she's looking to Eugene to provide her a fulfillment that she can't provide to herself. But the thing is, happiness is an inside job. Until you do the work from the inside out, it don't matter what this man gives you. It doesn't matter what he does. It will never be enough. You will never be happy because you have voids and vacancies inside that you have to fix and fill. So then we move on to Dr. Heavenly's office where she has an appointment with TV and internet personality To Medicine. Now, my thing is, this was clearly one of those moments where they're just trying to pull in a different audience. It was like the only thing that made this scene relevant is that Heavenly was providing a dental service, because the whole TED talk about trans and LGBTQ, it was like, where does this fit? And it feels like that's what's happening with this show, especially this season. It kind of feels like this show is becoming some sort of a billboard for political campaigns and conversations. So then we cut back to Toya and her husband, who ain't never doing enough. Her and Eugene are out with their boys. And this particular scene stood out to me because their boys are talking to Eugene about their belief that pretty girls don't like smart boys. And they think the only reason their daddy ended up with their mama is sheer luck. You just got lucky, player. Baby, trust me when I tell you, pretty girls love smart and successful guys. That's how your daddy got your mama. So then we see Sweet Tea and Dr. G go back to the doctor together to discuss her condition and her options. The doctor is recommending surgery, but she lets her know that even with surgery, there are no guarantees, and there's still going to be a delay because there's a recovery period of at least 6 months that they recommend before you attempt to conceive. So then we move on to the main event of this episode, which is Dr. Jackie is producing an ad featuring all of the ladies to bring awareness to the issues around the maternal mortality rate of Black women, which is a little bit interesting because I think this episode aired while she was at the height of getting dragged through the internet. But of course, in their normal fashion, it's a mess. Heavenly can't remember her lines. Simone and Toya fighting about who should go first. Just good luck. Meanwhile, the guys are getting together. They're catching up with Dr. G about how married life is treating him. He said he's happy, and Curtis brought up a fun fact that I didn't know. Both Sweet Tea and Dr. G are a twin. So he was saying that must mean y'all gonna have a whole bunch of babies around there. Dr. G said, I don't know about no bunch of babies. 2 babies is enough for me. And he said in the confessional that he's not in denial about what they're up against. He's not in denial that they're dealing with fertility issues, but he also feels like they're gonna be fine. Well, speaking of how married life is treating you, Alicia's husband and all his testosterone spoke up to let it be known he is King Kong at his house. He's carrying on about women been running things too long, and I refuse to cut my nuts off. Sir, what? And if your woman don't listen to you, you a weak man. Damon said, hold on, is you trying to tell us we ain't got no nuts? I'm just trying to figure out whether I should risk it all and whoop your ass. He piped down a little bit. He said, no, I ain't saying that you ain't got no nuts. I'm just saying that where I'm from in Nigeria, we don't play that shit. Sir, I believe you and all that, but I'm going to suggest you don't say that too loud around these men's wives because they and all of their medical degrees is probably going to jump your ass. So I got a feeling the guys is going to have a round table with him and tell him to shut the hell up before you get us all put out. And that leads into episode 11, and that's where I will pick up with the next review. Thank you so much for listening to me and letting me get this off my chest. Please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you have not already. And in the meantime, until next time, just like every time, I love you and I mean it. Bye.